Welcome to Tapestry with Miriam on Fusing Channel. As we celebrate Black History Month, we have decided to celebrate selective women. And this evening, we are happy to be speaking to the incomparable Miss Jeanne Lehman. Jeanne is a leader and founder of Black Canadian Women in Action here in Edmonton, popularly known as BCW. Thank you, Ms. Jeanne, for gracing us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
We are very, very happy to have you. I've worked with you many, many years and in a lot of activities around the community. And I'm so glad to have you this evening here in the studio. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Miriam. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Yes, yes. I wanted to ask, how are you celebrating Black History Month? And maybe before you do that, maybe just tell the viewers, who are you and what role do you play in BCW?
So you're putting me like on the spot. I don't know. Usually, I don't usually know when they ask me who I am. I don't really know. I'm just Jeanne Lehman. So I just try my best in my community to, support our women, our girls, family, and in order for us to stop being behind. So this is what I'm trying to do. Otherwise, I'm the founder and, as you know, and the CEO of BCW, so Black Canadian Women in Action. So before funding this organization, I founded also the main Francophone settlement organization here called La Frappe, Francophonie Albertaine Plurielle. This was for inclusion for Black teacher and also the community, and also, collaboration between communities. So, and then what I did also, because we are from here, our children and ourselves, so we have to belong, we have to feel like we belong too. So I founded also an organization that was, I'm not operating now on that, but it was My Voice Count. This was to encourage our youth, women, men to go and vote, be part of this society. So I don't know where to say. I don't know if I answered to your question,
that's very good.
I'm just trying.
That's very good. Yeah. You've always been a woman who, with reason, a woman with, strength, and you've always been that person who helps others. And I know I have, come across most of the things that you do. I remember with Africa Center, Women Conversation Cafe, and you were part of that as well. And I think that's really great. And you've always empowered women, and that's very, very good. And that's why I am just excited to have you here. Now, Jeanne, one of the objectives that BCW is providing in the community is to assist women in, business and entrepreneurship and all that. How can other women become a part of BCW and why? So
Black women, other women can become part of BCW. They can be volunteer. They can also be just member. But I encourage everyone, even member, to be part of, because order to well explain that, so you have to understand that BCW, when I funded it, is not because I just decided to fund an organization. I had women came. You mentioned the Conversation Cafe, so women saw me where I was working for the Africa Center. Women saw me also when I funded the FRAP. So they came and asked me, they wanted to have a place where we can meet, where women can meet, talk about their challenges, but also solutions. So this is how all started. Then I thought, instead of just go and have an organization or have a place, because they were asking first to have a place where they can meet. But I knew that it was more than a place. So I had this need assessment where I had women coming together. Then I asked them what they want to see. So, and then women, among the question we had, so we asked them if they were satisfied with their jobs. 90% of women, black women, say no, there wasn't. Then we asked them also, so what do you want to do? They say, a lot of them, I think we had like in that room, 70% say they wanted to do business or to have a business or they want to scale up their business. So then I start asking to myself, how come that number is that high? Then thinking about when I was young, I leave Africa a long time ago.
Yes.
So, but I know, then I recall when I was young that women were doing business all the time.
Yeah.
Black women like to do business. So then I understood why they were saying that to do business. That's why this organization was funded with the focus, with the mandate to have black women empowered. But what can empower women like business? So it's really what we have like mandate. We knew that we have a lot of organizations here who community organization. Usually there will be more focus on human rights, on violence against women, on all those topics that are very important for us, because as women, yes, we are fighting for everything, but we wanted to have an organization that will be really empowerment of women and girls and also their family. So this is what motivates me to, to go with BCW.
BCW.
And then if women want to join the organization, since even from the beginning, we had women who came and say, we want to see this. Not that we have this. What do you want us to do? We have to do that with them.
Yes.
So that's why for me, it's very important that the community be part of this organization. I don't want an organization where I'm alone or just my team deciding. We really want women to be part of our women, BIPOC women, and even other women from other communities.
Yeah. And I think that it's very important for our viewers to understand, because if I just take you back to where you were saying that women had to come and say, this is what we want, and just really recognizing that there's somebody who's paying attention to their needs. And that was just awesome. And I think, congratulations for that, and continue working with the women, because sometimes we don't see someone really taking care of your needs.
No.
And asking you, how are you and how are you doing in that? And that's very important that BCW is doing.
Very true, Miriam, because usually they will say to us, this is good for you.
Yeah.
We have good programs, so the program goes like this, like that. But what I saw, and what I'm seeing with especially black women, since these are the community I serve, is that we have a lot of women here who are very well skilled, who are very educated, who have, they can do whatever they can or they want if they are just sometimes supported. So this is what I see in those women. So I was thinking, how when people, and like the newcomer, when they come here, oh, you know what? You have to do this, you have to do that. We think that education, we tell you how to work. It's important to know all that. But we have also, because these women are coming from somewhere, they didn't just, come in Canada and start living. They were living somewhere else where they did a lot of things sometimes.
Yeah.
So when they're here, we have to try to listen to them, what they're bringing at the table. And even those who are here, we know that is not usually easy. When you come, you have to, some of women have been here maybe for 5 years, 10, even more, but they're still finding them, looking where they can really fit. And sometimes it's not just maybe, they don't have that chance, to have maybe someone who can give a hand.
Yeah.
And then they will stay there. They are very well skilled and they can do a lot of things. But since they don't have someone to sometimes give them a hand, guide them, or even give them information, they will just stay where they are without doing anything. So it takes that. We talked about role model. That's what it takes, role model. In our community, we don't usually have that. So how do you want a young girl to think that she can be a doctor if she never see a black woman doctor? So this is what, motivate me. This is what, keep me, pushing.
Yeah, and I know BCW. You've already talked about empowering women and providing leadership to women and making sure that they have the knowledge around what they're doing. What are some of the challenges that you face in trying to do that?
Oh, a lot of challenges because as like a non-profit, like all other non-profit, and we have been more than other because we are new. I usually say BCW is a baby, but healthy baby. So we just have our five year.
Wow, nice.
We, as you know, we didn't have a lot of black led organization here. Can you imagine that, like business?
Yeah.
And business, we had an organization here in business, Tombouctou, but then I think Tombouctou ended, and since then we didn't have any. And so when BCW started with that business, we didn't have any organization, not just here in Alberta, even in the Prairie. So we were the only organization accompanying, supporting women in business. Then when the COVID hit, men too start coming to us.
Oh.
So this is how we start. We keep working to support our community who were in business.
Yes.
So you were asking me, the question exactly was, the question
What
you
are
were
the
asking,
challenges?
what is the challenges?
Yeah.
So the challenges were, first of all, as like any other organization, resources.
Yeah.
Right now, we are a recipient of ecosystem. That is good. We are the only black woman-led organization that has that. But then, working now with this demographic in business, we find that there is what we have is good, but it's not enough to support all our business. We would like to have women like even you who are in this studio. We don't have. I think we can count just if we have more than 2 women, that will be too much in our community. So how can we support those women who are in those type of industry we don't see? We don't have usually some resources to support them. The other thing too, the challenge we face is sometimes even the women we are supporting. It's like sometimes it's a little bit difficult, maybe because they never have someone giving a hand, someone supporting them. Sometimes they think that is not possible. And this is even the worst thing when someone don't believe to themselves. So we have to do that part also, education. Let them know that you're enough. You can do it and go, you know. So these are also some of challenges we face.
Yeah, and I like how you say that sometimes, and it's very true, that sometimes because we have not seen it happen, so we cannot believe it. And it now leaves us that kind of void where we don't know where we can go. And to that note, what is the process of empowering these women? What's the process that you take within BCW?
Again, first of all, we always, and we will always do that, and because we think that is the way maybe things should be done, is to listen to the women, what they want. Because we are not here to tell them what to do. We are here to support them, not to help. We don't like help. We don't have that. We banish that word. We are here to support them. So the process, let's say this can be, let's say a woman who wants to have a business. We have that sometimes because we support women from idea stage to those who are very well established. So I have an idea. I would like to do business. I have this idea. How can I do? Okay. So then we sit with you, then we talk with you, see, have this, integrated needs assessment with you to see what really you need. That business, which type of, population you want to serve, or what is what you want to offer. We will go through that. And when you say, because some of them will come, I want just to have a loan, but apart of the loan, what do you want else? You want to reach some client. So we're going to, communication, and then step by step. This is where we're going to find that, okay, maybe the women need this type of resources, or maybe they need the support in this type of support, and this is how we usually act to support them.
And this is very interesting because this is just a fraction, because we have a lot of women, especially now, that want to get into business in our community. But it's a fraction of where you have to help. Maybe just 1/5 or whatever you want to help. Have you exhausted some of the, especially in Edmonton, have you exhausted the areas where you, there are women here and there are women that they are aware about BCW?
So what we do, that's why when we were talking, bring me back to the resources, the question you first asked, is that if we had, for the impact BCW have, should be, we are known, even here in other provinces, but sometimes it cannot translate because we don't have resources to have hire someone for marketing, thing like that. So to reach these women, and usually it's even the word of mouth. And what is important for us, we have service. Since I can say the ecosystem came in late 2020, we have had we have now 317 women, and we have a pipeline of 100. So sometimes women who came to BCW, they had that services, and they talked about their, to friend, neighbor, and then they come to us. But we would like to reach more people and go to, let people know, women, and know that we have an organization. This is what I'm doing here too, because I know you listening everywhere. I mean, so women, we see that, they're watching you, they see that, okay, we have BCW, and then maybe I need something, I want to do business, but not just business. BCW have other components. We are talking about the business component, but we have other component too. So this is how women will come to us.
Wow. Yeah, just awesome. What inspired your idea of starting such a movement? Did you ever feel that your fellow women were not supportive enough for the idea that you had? And what made you just go on and say, you know what, I'm going to do it? Did you have that negativity from, because sometimes we do have that, right?
So I'm a French speaker, as you can notice. I don't have, someone said to me, yes, I can tell. So I'm a French speaker. I went very young in Paris, where I did all my study. And then I came in, when I immigrated in Canada, so I was in Montreal. I live a little bit in Toronto, then Montreal. I travel also a lot. And I have noticed that no matter where usually we are, is always challenging. So before starting BCW, people see it right now, but it wasn't that easy.
It wasn't just...
No, not at all. It was even, look at me, I'm not that young woman, and so I started this. I cannot say, that's why I'm saying to young, to the girls and even women who are coming here that, I can say I wrote at least 4 or 5 business plan, wanted to start something, that can support women, and then finally, I even think at a certain time I thought, I cannot do that alone. I have to do that with some people. I was, like what I first said, you don't feel like you can. And then after trying to have other people do that with me, trying to, write and all that, try to knock doors, then I say, I'm going to do this. Wow. I can do this. So when I started, it wasn't easy again, but I just said to myself, I think the need is there. I believe in what I want to do. And I know that women, Black women, need an organization like this one. At the beginning, they were asking me, when I was saying, okay, what is the name of your organization? I said, Black Canadian Women in Action. Every time they will question, they will say, why Black? Black Canadian. That's why I see today, organizations saying black and all that. But at that time, and it's not long time ago, was why black? And then I try to say to people, you have Indo-Canadian Women Association have been here for more than 40 years. No one is questioning why this organization. I am starting this not to have a ghetto or whatever. I'm starting this because one, we have to be where decisions are being made. Also, we have to understand that role model is something that is very important. So our girls need us, our women need us to know that this can be possible. Then they can do too. So this is what brought me here.
Yeah, that's just great, because when you were talking about it and say Black Canadian women, I was like, you must have had those challenges where people come to you, especially within our community, will come to you and say, hey, can you just tone down on the black thing and whatnot? And you're like, I have to be proud that I am. And I have to continue. And that's why we are celebrating the Black History Month.
Absolutely.
It has to be something like that, right?
You have to know who you are first, And Miriam, you're saying that it's very true, because I had that question from other community, but for our community too. People were saying to me, even someone say, if you say black, you won't have any grant, or, why black? It was always like that. Then before I was trying to answer, then I say to myself, I don't have to justify myself. I can say we are red, or we say black, And then I say, okay, I have this, and then we see.
Now that brings me to a point where I wanted to ask you, how do you actually navigate this bravery that you have in this world of competitiveness with, some people will tell you this and whatnot. And I'm sure when you entered into this kind of business, it was not women, it was like a man's world. Not-for-profit was always started by, especially within our community. We didn't have that, BCW. So how did you navigate yourself?
I think I was well prepared. I'm the only girls in my family. I have just boys.
No
I was
wonder.
I was in the middle. That's why usually people, maybe that's why, I have to find my place. And also I have a dad. My dad was, was that time where they were saying, not even, it was tough, like, in that set epoch in where they were living. So, but he was like, you can do everything. I don't know. You don't, I see you here. So he was someone, I don't know, someone will talk with him and he will see, when you will see Jeanne, then we'll talk again. So I knew that my dad loved me. I knew that my dad will encourage me, and he know who I am and what I want and what is my value. So that gave me maybe that also strength to continue. And when I came here, and I keep seeing that even today, sometimes people will try to, since I'm not, again, an English speaker, so sometimes they want to show me that, okay, since you don't speak English, that doesn't mean, and it's coming even from our community sometimes. We are going through those type of, stereotype and all those things, but we tend also to do the same thing. So we come to me where people will say, oh yeah, because you're English, and then I say, you know what, that's fine. If you think, you can understand what I'm saying, let me do that in French. Oh, no, I can't speak. But so then, listen. If you think I have to re-explain, or sometimes I will take my phone and then, okay, what is the word I'm looking for? Especially when I'm very tired. The word English doesn't come sometimes. But for me, it's a language. We have just to use it.
To communicate.
It's not something that can stop me. It's not something that has to do with what I have in my brain. So I can't be English. Or I speak 5 languages from African languages. Then English, I start speaking English. When I came here, I went to NET to do my English as second language. So this is where I started with English. So when I'm doing what I'm doing now, instead of you to encourage me and you want to put me down, this is your problem. It's not mine, because I know who I am. Yeah.
You know, well said, well said. As a leader, how do you balance your leadership with the people, to connect with the people around you? How do you balance that? Because I'm sure people know that, oh, Jeanne Lehman is a leader, and sometimes people now that, you know, you are a woman of influence in our community. How do you balance that?
To tell you the truth, I don't even know. I don't think about that. I don't think even that you're talking to more about being a leader. I think what I usually think about leaders is that people will say to you, you are our leader. People will say to you, we want you to lead us. You cannot say to yourself, I'm a leader, so I'm a leader, you know, I'm your leader. I don't think so. I don't think that is, this is how. So maybe that's why, for me, I usually say I can be with and 6 old, I will be good. We have a conversation. I'll be with someone who more older, 80. We have a conversation. I can be, if I come here and then this is where we have to sleep on the ground, I will do that. I can also be in a 10-star hotel. That will be good too.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't know how to explain that, how I balance that. I don't even think about that. What I think is to only try to see where I can, you know, make the life of others better. I know I'm very conscious that our community are very behind. Our women are behind. And I don't see the reason why we should be there, because, as again I foresay, we are very sometimes well educated. We have everything. I see like these young girls who are coming, or the girls who are coming to the program. I usually say, you have it all. You are beautiful, intelligent. You have what keep you just, you know, in where you are, where you don't see yourself in a certain place? And I usually take even my own example. I say, look, I don't even speak English like you, but I can do some of things. So you can do even better than I can.
Yeah.
So that's why the leader thing is people will tell you to lead them, and then if they ask you to lead them, then yes, they can see you are a leader.
Yeah.
But it's not you who will come and say, okay, I'm leader. So managing with, I'm always good where I am. So with people I am with. What is more important for me is when we do things, do that seriously. Always, and I say that to everyone, since we live in this beautiful country, province, we have to understand that when you're doing something, where is your community? How can you do? And we have that as Africa. We talk about Ubuntu. It's something we have. So we are here because, you know, some were there before us. And since they were there before us, it's because they push us. Otherwise, we couldn't be there. So we have to always keep that. We shouldn't be trading all our, you know, value, all things, because we have them and they are good. So that's why for me, it's very important to give back. It's very important to see how I can, you know, support women and other from the community, even those who are not from my community. This is how I say things. In order for us to live in the better world, we can dream. So I think it's very important to just be there for others.
Very, very well. I like the way you said, you talked about Ubuntu. Ubuntu is, you know, working together. I am because
you are.
And but since we are celebrating the Black History Month, what do you say to those people? Because I've come across people who say that they're from Africa, and sometimes in continental Africans, they've never celebrated Black History Month because it's not necessary. But they've never celebrated because they celebrate it, you know, like every day. I guess that's what it is. But then when we come here, we celebrate it because of, you know, step-by-step challenges that, you know, we have achieved, and from the people that were before us. What do you say to those people that don't want to recognize the Black History Month?
I think it's very important that we know our story, not to stick in that story. To know our story and so that our future can be bright. I think people sometimes would say things like, oh, what you can say, I'm black and proud, well, how do I saying that? I don't have to state that. But you have to understand what is going on and understand the story.
Yes.
Because sometimes we come here, we think like, okay, everything is good, I'm in the, everything. But then at a certain point you see that, no, it's not, like everything's not good for us. First of all, we don't know the story of Canada, black people in Canada. Usually people and black people, I heard them saying, oh, we are new here. I think because they just don't know the story.
Yeah.
Because black people have been here
For a long time.
For a long time, before Canada became Canada.
Yeah.
And the immigration, as is coming today, we coming from the continent by ourselves, it may be new, but black people have been here.
Yeah.
So first we have to recognize that.
Yes.
No, where that all come, like I'm black and proud, like even Black Lives Matter and even Black History Month, is because of that story.
Yes.
What happened in the US? What happened to those people?
Yeah.
No, to my brother and sister coming from the continent. And I just want to let them know that, people will say, oh, we didn't experiment, or our great-great-great-parents didn't experiment the slavery, but just usually, this is what I usually say to people. Imagine, me, I'm a mother of two. Can you imagine if someone come and get one of my children? How do you think I will be raising the other one, who will maybe grow up and all that, but how I will be raising that children, the only one that I still have? I will be raising her completely broken.
Yes.
I will be raising her, with me completely diminished.
Yeah.
I won't be myself again. And we see that all the time. When someone lost someone, the person go with a part of them.
Yes.
So what happened to us, whether in the continent or in the diaspora, we all still in that trauma. And we are in that trauma. Why? Because never we saw the reparation.
Yeah.
Never we saw education. Never, and we are growing and continue, but in that trauma.
Yeah.
So you have some who think that if I say I'm, someone from African descent, from the African descent or black, or if I say that, so they will be looking me in a certain way. No, if you know who you are, you don't have to start asking that question to yourself. Yes. So that's why I really say you have to understand the story, how it went, and don't say, okay, Black History Month is not about me. Even if maybe it didn't happen in Africa, but those people were there, they experiment that. Yes. So, and then it's something you have to take in consideration. No, the Black History Month also, what that mean really? It really means that it's not just celebration, because some people just talked about celebrating Black History Month, but it's really three things. It's really to think, to reflect on our past.
Yes.
Celebrate our accomplishment, and because usually they are not celebrated. We don't know sometimes what black people have brought. Some even say that we have no story, we never bring anything. But it's celebrating that. But the most thing is to see how, our future, what we want to do with our future. Yes. That's why BCW, this Black History Month, in our 3 locations, we have different themes.
Yes.
And Calgary was more on housing. Yeah. Because you have a Calgary community, they are very vibrant, even in business. So, how can we do to have also, buy houses, even if you want to do that for yourself, to sell, So this is very important. In Regina, we're talking about leadership, because the Regina Black community is growing there. And here in Edmonton, the theme was on women in STEM. Because we have a lot of our women who are in business, they are in classic business, but you don't see them in STEM, and we don't want them to miss that boat too. Yeah. So we had, that was an invitation, but all those 3 locations were completely full, people, listening. So it was just, we celebrate, yes, but we want also to shape our future. Yes. So this is what Black History Month is about. Now, if I continue elaborating, sometimes also we are like, oh, me, I'm from coming from Africa, from the continent, and the other will say, oh, I'm Caribbean, I'm not.
Yes.
Then just walk in the street, the street. Me, sometimes someone will see, oh, you look like my auntie. She's from Haiti or from, yeah. So the thing is, you can say, okay, I'm from here, from there.
Yeah, but you still look the same.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that doesn't prevent us. We know we have different culture, communities. Because usually people tend to see black community like a monolithic or people from African descent. But we have diverse, even in Africa. Me in Africa, Zambia, I came here. This is in Canada where I start meeting other communities. Yeah, you see? So that's why for us is that what is our common interest? And our common interest is usually we face the same thing. No black person can say to you, they never experiment racism. They never, or sometime in the workplace, where they don't have the position they deserve. All those injustices sometimes we have. So these are common thing we have to come together no matter where you are coming from. Then our culture and all that are rich, everyone can just celebrate with other or their own culture. So this is how I think things should be. If I can answer to your question about people who don't want to celebrate Black History Month.
Oh, wow. Such good knowledge from you, such good information, especially about, your role with BCW and, what you know about the Black History Month. And I think I can go on and on with the reason why this is called Fusing Who Am I? It's because of the things that we've gone through, the things that I saw as a person, and I asked myself, who am I in this whole thing, right? So it's a story on its own, and I think we need to tell stories in our own way and how we tell it to celebrate us and to actually celebrate, like you said, accomplishment. Now, this conversation, I just wanted to come back again, but
whenever you want.
What next? What next for Jeanne Lehman?
Okay, what next for? BCW is an incorporated federal, and we are registered in 6 provinces. So Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, BC, Ontario, and Quebec. So now we have 3 locations in Edmonton, Calgary, and Saskatchewan. We are looking for an office in Manitoba, also Winnipeg. We're going to develop that and then see in other provinces, but also international. We do have also some work we are doing there because we know that people don't tend to see that, but I'm trying to let all these politicians and everyone know that thing is no, you have to turn your eye to Africa because a lot of things are happening. Young are dynamic, women are doing some business and all that. So we want to explore, we started exploring that too with our program because, we are Black Canadian women. And so when you say BCW, people know that we are Canadian, we are Black women from Canada. So we want to have this organization, known everywhere in the world. So this is for next time, this is what we want to accomplish. Really establish all our not chapter, and then try also to work with international
community. Wow, that's amazing conversation that we had tonight, and I really appreciate you coming. This is Tapestry with Miriam on Fusing channel, and you were just listening to the awesome and amazing Jeanne Lehman, BCW CEO and founder of the organization. Thank you so much, and happy Black History Month.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.